Clubhouse to your shack. Welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. You don't have to get up early here for coffee and ham radios. It's been a long Tuesday. Let's kick back, relax, and let's hang out with Daniel, Shane, Steve, Izzo, Joe Brett, Beer Snack, and who else may join us. Let's see. Let's go.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, hello.
Hello. I can hear you now.
Hello.
You're no longer on mute.
And
we scared him away. I think Megan came and knocked on the door of his shack, and he had to go run and hide.
Right.
Oh, it has been a fun time in Crazy Town. The airline world is finally getting back to normal until we decided to have this thing come up out of the Gulf of Mexico and make its way up through. And yeah, so if it's not one thing, it's another. But oh well, that's what they pay me the big bucks for, right?
Yeah. Keep the airplanes
we'll go with
air.
that. Hey, Daniel, how's the start of your week, sir?
Oh, it's good, man. Busy, and I'm happy to be here tonight. It's like my sanity break every week. So happy to be here. Thanks for everybody who's joining us in the comments. And my biggest thing I could think of for this week would be, you know what, guys, I would love to have. This tells you exactly what is on my mind. I would love to have somebody from the ARRL or anybody to explain exactly if the FCC has some sort of little write-up about how nets are a priority on frequencies.
Oh, I forgot about that this week.
Because, like, I swear, like, I was on, I'll tell the frequency because every night at the same time, supposedly.
We'll dig deeper into this after we get through the introduction.
Oh, yeah. Let's move on to somebody else because I could talk about this for an hour.
Yes, I definitely want to start. I want to start the night off with that. That's a great one. Steve, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Did a 5-park POTA run yesterday.
Woo!
So
that's what, a warthog? Or is that 3?
Cheetah.
Oh, nice.
The warthog is 2. The rhino is 3.
I've gotten the rhino. I haven't gotten the cheetah yet.
Yep. So,
fantastic. Nice.
Moving up.
Did you have a good 4th of July weekend?
I did. It was relatively quiet. Got to hang out with some friends and got a free fireworks show out of it. So
nice. As long as you're still friends, it works out perfect, right?
We are still friends, and it was actually his neighbors that spent over $2,000 on fireworks. So we all got
friends.
That show went on about an hour.
Wow.
And it's like, yep,
nice.
Okay, let them spend the money.
That's a lot of boom boom.
It was. And they had some of the good stuff too. But that stuff's legal here, so we can shoot it. Not like Jersey.
Yeah, we just got legalized for spark throwers. That's about it.
So you can do sparklers?
I can do sparklers. We can do sparklers. Yay! We could do those the little the giant can that shoots out the little tiny stream of sparkles. That we could do those.
No Roman candles.
No projectiles.
I was gonna say these guys had 2 rolls. The big rolls of black cats, and then they had the whistling batteries and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it was.
Ooh.
I guess I should say happy belated Independence Day to all you guys and
well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
So we have a guest tonight. Some of you might have seen him on YouTube. Whiskey Juliet 6 Foxtrot, Craig. So Craig, welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse, my friend. How are you, sir?
Howdy. Oh, all's well. Appreciate being here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man. And I'll pose the same question to you. How was your 4th of July weekend and extended holiday?
Oh, it was nice. It was peaceful. We were in Vegas prior to it, and then came back before all the nonsense started up there and listened to the neighbors blow everything up, so I didn't have to pay for anything. And
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
We did the same thing. We went to somebody else's house and let them blow stuff up. Of course, I had to work. I got there right as everybody was getting started after I'd been up for 17 hours. So I was like, you know what? Bottle of scotch, a couple of cigars, we'll be good to go.
I got so many.
Plenty of scotch left over.
I got so many text messages on what was our Canada Day? Thursday, because we had Canada Day on Thursday. And every winter, like I talked to you guys before, at New Year's, I do a big fireworks show. I have all my controllers and everything like that. And so they've canceled most of the Canada Day celebrations around because of COVID and some other things. So they asked me if I was doing it. I was like, I don't do it in the summertime because I don't want to have like that one little, ember that comes down and
set your neighborhood on fire.
Well, it's all cedar bush around my house. So once that stuff starts, it ain't finished, right?
That gives a new meaning to the word lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I got to go grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right then.
Do it.
Well, welcome back, Joe Brett.
Never
fails.
Never fails.
And I ain't shitting you either.
Are you even a ham, man? Your internet doesn't work. Your microphone doesn't work.
Your microphone.
Look at him thinking. He's processing. He's like A square plus B square equals failed microphone.
He's so mean. Jeez.
Okay, hello everybody. How you doing?
There we go.
Welcome.
Complete reboot.
Watch it. You're gonna have plasma up your about your bad audio.
If you can't hear it, it don't suck.
There you go.
Well, welcome, Joe Brett. We missed you during the introduction. So, how was your holiday weekend, extended holiday, all that good stuff?
It was great. It was wonderful. Okay, Tank requested that, so yeah, we got to use the smoker and got to just have a good weekend.
Nice,
fantastic. And you were live again. I saw that.
Yeah, we done a little live, and then because of the holidays and forgetting that I was off yesterday, and yeah, somebody in the chat was like, I think it was Animage, like, hey, Monday Night Ham Radio. I'm like, bye everybody. So.
It's funny how your internet works when you're watching other people's stuff, but not when you're doing the live stream.
I mean, as soon as you hit go live, everything went blank. I was like, great.
That's the way it goes. So back to Daniel. Back to the story that you were getting into when we got started. So to give a little backstory, Daniel had a run-in with what I would call a lid, and for those that aren't familiar with what a lid is, it's a jackwagon that gets on frequency and decides to be just a total jerk. So, Daniel, you want to pick up where you left off there?
Yeah, you know what? I really don't. Okay, so I was running a pile up. I forget what night it was, and I was on 7.188. That tells you
no man's land.
So I started at like 8 o'clock. I get like 2 minutes to 10, and this guy says VA3SDO for information. So I said, yeah, go ahead. And the guy starts reciting some script, like going on and on and on. According to the FCC section, blah, 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 contests and CQ calling is not a priority, and net communications, going on. We meet here every day of every week of every month of whatever. And then he's like, I've been this ham since 61, and he's going on. And then finally he lets go. And another guy chimes in and tells him to go take a hike, right? And then I said, and because I had a good pile up, and I said, hey, can I speak? I'm in control of the frequency. Go ahead. I said, dude, I have no problem. You come on, you have a net. You say, hey, man, we have a net, 10 o'clock. Nah. I said, I would give you the frequency. But I said, you come on here and give me a sermon for 5 minutes. And I said, now I don't want to give you the frequency, like if you would have just asked me politely, but instead and I almost called him a jackass on the, I said, instead you come on like a jack and, and I said, so I will forfeit the frequency to the jack who was saying that his net is tonight. And I wish you all the best. VA3SDO clear. right? But it just irritates the crap out of me. He goes, according to FCC, I said, well, just news for you, I'm in Canada and I don't fall underneath the FCC.
You should have said, hey, do you realize that the Victor Alpha, that's not a U.S. call sign? So,
well, I said for your information, I'm in Canada. FCC doesn't mean anything to me.
Oops.
And by the way, FCC doesn't manage the world. It's the UT, like the United. So like, I was like, sit down on your holy whatever, get off your stool there. Oh man, it just infuriated me. And I just want to be like, F you. And I would love to start the Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie net meeting on Friday nights at 9:45 Eastern on 7.188. That's what I want to do. Can we do a vote on this right now?
How about we just do it at 7.190 and everybody run 1,500 watts?
Yeah.
You want to buy me an amp?
And just so that prompted me, guys, I am starting another YouTube channel. It's called Grumpy OMs.
You are wound up.
I'm so tired of it. I'm done. It's called Grumpy OMs.
Right?
I don't give a shit anymore. It's Grumpy OMs. If you hear somebody being a prick on the HF, you record it, you send it to me, you will stay anonymous, and we're just gonna give me their call sign because, dude, we're gonna I'm
that
so
is a
done.
Brilliant
I'm done.
idea.
I'm done.
That is a brilliant idea.
I will gladly put my face on it saying, okay,
I'm Molson and this finger's for you.
There you go.
Oh. Boy, Keith, you're playing in with fire there. You hear this passion behind and drive that's going behind this grumpier old man second YouTube channel.
So,
whatever.
What time was that?
Huh?
What time was that net supposed to start?
It's at 10 p.m. Every night at 10 o'clock. They own the frequencies. He goes, well, nobody owns the frequency, but we've been a net here for this many years and blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck you.
Careful.
Swear jar.
But don't go too bad there.
Yeah, I owe like $1,000 to the swear jar. It's all good.
So that's like $60 American.
It'd be so nice if somebody from the FCC or ARL just came out and said for them, you know what, screw, you're bullshit. Because they come on and they're like, according to this and that and this and that, and we all know it's bullshit, but they come with some it's like somebody wrote the script, right? Somebody took the time and look. On this date, in this place. It's like the second Independence Day documents. Like, you guys, it's so well written, and they read it verbatim. And it's like, you just wish that it was like, sorry, I'm going to stop.
Well, so
Craig, tell us about yourself. I don't know you. Tell me about yourself, Craig.
Before we
I
go
think
there,
you should add QRZ comments to your new channel.
there you go. Yeah, we got to add the zombies to the new channel.
Oh yeah, you get those QRZ comments in there. You'll be posting
QRZ
every day.
is like six same people all the time who live at the YMCA who comment their bullshit on everybody's post. It's disgusting. And then we get mad about it. We get mad.
Broke Shane.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you piss off a Canadian. Here's the wrath right here. The wrath.
They're only nice for so long.
So
my fireworks ignition system is actually a detonator. I just got to tell you. No, I'm joking.
Nice. Daniel, the 3905 Century Club net, single sideband net, is actually on that frequency. It's listed as a daily at 11 p.m. Central, which would be midnight Eastern.
I guess that would be it. Is it hosted by November Charlie something?
I have no clue.
Yeah, okay.
But we can talk offline on that one.
Or you can just give his call sign out. I mean, it's no big deal.
Well, I was thinking about it. In Canada,
it's public record.
For the YouTube channel in Canada, I was like, okay, if you're recording somebody, because I know somewhere in the States you can't record people. Here, it's a one-party consent. So if I'm in the conversation or I'm listening, I can record it. I don't have to tell anybody. But these guys are broadcasting their nonsense all over for the world to hear. So who gives a crap? Mm-hmm. Let the rest of the world put it on a platform where the whole world will hear their little stupidities. Let's do it. So if you got something, I got all kinds here. I've been recording stuff for a long time.
I expect to see highlight reels of this quite frequently.
Huh?
I said I expect the highlight reels quite frequently.
Oh
You
god.
drop them on that channel. I will be your first subscriber with the notification bell.
I just need Joe Brett to make me a little avatar for it. Some like old guy with a cane, and with like an HT.
With an HT.
No, it's got to be a 706 Mark II G from 13,000 feet. Call it good. Let's own the frequency.
We're gonna sick the parachute mobile on those guys.
Is there a way you can incorporate an HT with a pacemaker so somehow they work together? Like, can you make it like where, like if these guys own everything, just make it so it keys the PTT and holds the repeater hostage. How about we do that? Every time the pacemaker goes off, it just keys the repeater, right? That's what they're doing anyways. Like, we just got to come up with some shit like that for you QRZ old men. Like, please.
Good.
Tune on your ham. Get the ham pacemaker.
On that note, I need a refill. So continue, Daniel.
No. I want to know about Craig. Craig, tell us about your channel, man.
Well, you've given me a lot of food for thought on some future videos now. So we'll just run with that. I like doing the tutorial stuff. It started out because I was irritated with my HOA and needed a stealth antenna, which I'm going to be switching up here in a little bit. It's the poor antenna has been out in the elements for the last 5 years with Santa Ana winds, high heat, and those cold Southern California winters, when it drops down to like 72. So I'm going to have to do some work on that, and there'll be an addition to it. So that's going to come out hopefully this week.
Awesome.
Other than that, a lot of the tutorials I started with were just because I was tired of forgetting how to program the radio.
You were on Dennis's podcast 2 weeks ago, was it?
Yes.
That was a good podcast.
That was a great podcast.
Yeah. So
he's one of the few that tied me into that old Doomsday Prepper Forums website.
Yeah. Did you? I hope you weren't offended by what I said in my interview afterwards.
Oh no, I haven't had a chance to listen to it. I've been
great. Nobody else has. No, I just said I hate the term prepper because I know it's because people have violated it. So not violated, but they made it into something it's not, right? And while the principle is yes, you're preparing for yourself to be self-sufficient, they made it like some you know what I mean? So I hate that word.
Yeah, as soon as you mention your prepper, the padded van comes around with a straitjacket for you.
Yeah,
and I told him, there were some people. Yeah, you get them fleeced down line now. You never know.
I call it my self-love jacket.
Give yourself a hug.
We had some of those on that site that were prepping for the Earth tilting on its axis or the Wyoming super volcano or what have you. But I live in earthquake country. That's pretty much as far as it goes. I don't worry about tsunamis. I have a nuclear power plant I worked at that's pretty much in between me and K6ARK. And that thing's shut down now, so nothing's going on there because California can't keep the lights on.
It sounds like Texas in the wintertime.
Yeah. You were saying about people who think about the world's going to end. I wonder if flat earthers pray that God doesn't take a bite out of the cookie.
I don't know. We can bring a smoking ape on here and ask him. I think the ape would like to add his 2 cents on that one. He's the resident expert from what I hear.
The earth is flat, son.
Yes,
I
it
want to
is.
know what the ape thinks is real. That's what I'm looking for. What is
It's
real?
all fake.
Well, so the ape's
Someone
not even
took the
real.
blue pill.
So the ape's a figment of our imagination.
It's all CGI.
You got it.
Really good green screen.
Does he really have a call sign?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does on trees and all of our logs.
Yeah.
He was trying to check in on EchoLink yesterday, and he said the ID kept, every time he tried to key up my ID, or was canceling him out. So I hated that.
Or my check-in was killing him, you know. I don't know what was going on with that thing. There you go.
So I have to ask the question: what did you guys think about my my prelude to the field day video coming out?
There was a lot of gas in that facility.
You think?
That was a methane bomb waiting to go.
I took field day literally. Like it was a day in the field. If you don't know what we're talking about, you should check out my
shorts.
My short on my page that's introducing my upcoming field day video. We go see my buddy Tommy, and he shows me what a field day is. So
that was one heck of a pileup y'all had going.
One heck of a pile.
You notice I took there's a clip I took out between that I edited out. You noticed that one, right?
Uh-huh.
It was how the pileup was being created. Oh. So yeah.
Yep.
So I have a question for Craig. What if you had a project that you had no limitations on money, on time, on anything? What would you start tomorrow?
That's a good question.
Well, there's the whole skill thing that I don't have, and as if some of my projects show my soldering sucks. But assuming I can do all that in your scenario, I don't know. I like building the antennas, like I did the QRP one, and I've liked doing the K9JEB distribution boxes. Mm-hmm. But looking at some of that other QRP stuff, I wouldn't mind trying, if I could, some way or another, actually build a transceiver. Just sit down one day with a blank board and all the components and go to town and see if I either make a contact or a mushroom cloud in my garage. One of the two.
Let the smoke out.
One of the things that intimidates me about that stuff is that, like, have you ever watched Mr. Carlson's lab? You ever watch that that YouTube channel? Mm-hmm. And like the guy just sits down with a piece of paper and he doodles out some rocket engine thing. Like, just you need this here, you need that here. To come to that place where the intricacies of each component and how it works together, and you don't have to Google it, right? Like, let's be honest, 99% of us Google crap, right? Like,
he Googled it before he did the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he Googled it. Do you really think he Googles it before he does the video?
Well, no. You see, he's got the tablet in front of him, right? And that's all you see. You don't see him holding up the notes in front of him.
Yeah, that's true. But just to have that brain where you can build like a transceiver or just from, because even if we were to study it and look, say we Google it, we find what capacitors, what to put into place, but to actually know the in-depth of it is just like mind-boggling to me. That would be, I think, a goal to set eventually, which I know I'll never reach. So
it's like the guy that created the Mercury 3 amplifier. I mean, that's a really cool kit. And now there's an antenna tuner, and now he has like another linear amplifier that's like 600 watts or 500 watts. But I thought that's really cool that he sends you all the components and said, here you go. Put it together, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you won't let the smoke out.
He gives you instructions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he says, not a lot of figure it out.
You know what's genius about
when somebody says good luck, like here it is, here's all the components, good luck. I'm like, please, I hope there's instructions.
You can't be held to a warranty really if somebody else assembles it, right? So
that's right.
But I haven't heard of anybody having problems with it either. So.
And it sure does look good.
Don has a very good point. Big difference between kit building and home brewing.
Yeah.
Home brewing is doing it yourself. And then you go out there and buy a kit. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that the home brewing, when you get to that level where you can home brew it, is just like, to me, I have so much respect for guys who can do that without, that's just a whole. I guess that's something to strive for in the next 50,000 years of my ham adventure. You know, like
you're gonna live forever. I was about to say, Jason, the only thing I homebrew ends up in a keg.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm sorry. That's
there you go.
And then I just share it with my friends while we use a radio that somebody else built.
Yeah. Jason,
but Craig,
88 miles an hour. Does anybody else get the reference?
No.
I need 1.1 gigawatts.
I'm just a stupid Canadian here. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't get the Mr. Fusion reference? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or plutonium. All we need is trash.
Awesome. But Craig, like, so you like to build antennas. So did you ever build a hex beam?
No, I know my limitations.
Good
really?
Man.
Yeah. I have not built, I've only done the small type things. There is one I'm looking at doing, a 2-meter antenna that I'd heard about years ago, and I just haven't gotten around. It's on my workbench, also known as my the land of forgotten projects.
Got one too.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I think to be a ham, you have to have one of those. So,
like the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
After field day, I decided for sure I'm building a hex beam. So that's one of my projects that I want to do this summer. So I was really happy with the hex beam we used, and so I think I'm going to order next week the spreader arms, and I'll make the plate myself, and then go from there. And my buddy Mel V3OGN, he's in the chat. He says he has a set of plans. I got to see what they are, but yeah,
I got to hang around the buddy heck that Jason has, and the hex beam antenna itself is really cool. I mean, that one is awesome. It's all portable and up on a portable mast and all that. But the hex beam, the theory behind it, I think, is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It worked really well.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, what's really interesting, and listen, I'm gonna be transparent and honest with everybody. All right, when I started to look into it, I didn't realize that it's actually broken.
They keep
like
moving.
I didn't realize that one half is the radiating element, the other half is the reflector, and that it literally is not connected. So like, I just thought it was wires around until I actually said I want to build one, and I looked into it, and so it's cool. I'm going to build it.
Sorry, the original design actually mirrored? So the elements come off the center and come around. The original design, the reflector was supposed to mirror it in the same exact pattern, and then somebody had modified it. I was reading, I forgot where I was reading that. I think it was on the Hexbeam website, the Build Your Own Hexbeam website, which now I have to go hunt.
Mel, if you're in the comments, what was that other thing, like spider web thing you were talking about? Like there's supposed to be another thing that's more
cobweb.
like a cobweb. Beam? No, not a spider beam. I think it's a is that what they're called? Mel, hurry up, put the comment up. Yeah,
I was gonna say there's a spider beam and a cobweb.
Give him a moment. It's a delay, So
right.
Mm-hmm.
Do it now.
I have a thunderstorm going over the top of my house, so if I drop out, that's why. Yes.
See, so we got Don N5SKT says spider beam, and Mel V3OGN says a cobweb.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's two different models there. So I don't know. I'd be interested to know I don't know. I'd have to start Googling cobwebs and spider beams to figure out what these things are and what's the difference. So the spider beam is 3 elements. Okay. So what's the cobweb? Come on. Teach us. Oh, comment section.
So you take the hex beam, all right, and all you do is take the driven elements, and that's all you use. and it's actually on the same plane. So it's similar. It's almost omnidirectional.
Okay.
Clicky.
So yeah, so that's what I want to build. But now my next project is going to be, I officially got a beer keg, guys. I got the beer keg, so I'm going to build the dummy load.
Will it antenna?
I don't know.
I don't know.
How many gallons is a beer keg? Like the big ones. I'm not talking the little kegerator ones there. I mean, like, where's Shane when you need him to talk about beer? No, so that beer, I got to figure out how much oil I got to put in that thing. So what I'm thinking about is my brother owns the restaurant. So can I strain his old oil for the fryers and put it in there?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Done deal.
And every time you heat it up, his house smells like French fries.
Oh yeah, it's gonna smell like. Yeah, what I should do is I should put a little bit of cheese curds in there, and every time it heats up, it'll smell like poutine. So.
Wait, what?
Poutine.
Yeah, I live further south. You're gonna have to explain that one.
It's called poutine for you. It's French fries, cheese curds, and gravy on top.
All right, so Marty's saying 33 gallons. Joseph is saying 30 gallons. Shane, we need your expertise in here. Please return. How many gallons is a large keg?
Had to make
How many gallons is a large keg, buddy?
My patio furniture wasn't going to Wizard of Oz itself off my patio.
He's not listening.
I'm listening. Give me a second. I got to catch my breath.
It's not like you're sodaing or anything.
Well, a half barrel would be 15 and a half. So a full barrel should be right at 30.
Okay,
I think.
So, yeah.
Okay, so good. I only deal in slim kegs, and my slim keg is 5 gallons. So, and that's considered a fifth. It'll be 25 gallons in a full. Hold on.
25 gallons?
I'm going to Google it because I'm not sure, and I don't want to. I don't want to information.
According to Google, aka my wife, a half a barrel is 15 and a half gallons.
And that's considered a full size keg. Yep.
Yes.
Really? Oh, that's not
Pony
bad.
keg, I think, is like 5 or 6
7.75. 7.75.
But you can get the Coors Party Ball.
And then the slim is
I'm aging myself.
Oh, the Party Ball.
I know what you're talking about, Craig. So we're good. We're good.
They're good for making beer pancakes the next morning.
I want to ask a question. I would love, and I'm going to throw this out there, if Dawn N5SKT can come on the show, and I want to talk about the difference between spider beam and hex beam, and have it COVID, have him explain it to me.
This is daggum Doritos you were
yeah, it's those chips you were having.
On.
Yeah, it's those chips. Okay, Dawn, I'm gonna send you the link. If you don't come, it's all right. But if you want to come, I'm gonna send it to you in Discord. So I gotta find Dawn. Okay, you guys carry on. I gotta send a message.
Well, he was saying the cobweb antenna is the same one you use to dry your laundry on. You know.
Hey, now that's not a bad idea,
right?
That's if your HOA allows the outdoor laundry thing.
Well, that's behind the privacy.
I don't have an HOA.
Oh! I had a great idea, guys. For Ham Radio Dube's challenge. We're talking antennas. I got to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You ready? Think about this. You know, you have your house, you have your roof line, and you have your gable ends. Every house has a gable end unless you have a complete whatever. You build a trough along the side that doesn't have to be wide. It looks the same height as your fascia, and it's a U channel. Okay. You finish it off with the aluminum finish or the finishing of your fascia board, and you have your mast pipe, which is an antenna. So say like from my ridge to my eavesdrop is like, I don't know, 17, 20 feet. You have an actuator so that when you hit it, it goes up, right? It's a vertical. So you say you do a 20-meter vertical, whatever it is. And then when it comes down, it's technically hidden. Does that make so I was going to do Ham Radio Dude's challenge, but I was like, I can't do that in time. And his only doing it for 2 meter. So I think we should discuss that at some point. All right, Don.
He did it. He clicked the link.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's in for. Welcome, Don. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I was here, a week ago or so? On the deal?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, it's a little more leaded tonight. A little more fierceness and drive behind the passion of the clubhouse discussions tonight. So, Daniel, I will relinquish the scene here and let you have your antenna discussion with Don.
So Don, yeah. First of all, your opinion This is obviously subjective, but I value your opinion. Hex beam versus spider beam or the cobweb. What is the primary difference? What is the advantage of each?
Well, a cobweb was meant to be a dipole in a small space. Okay. So it's actually on the same plane. And all of the wires are in a loop around the same. Yes, Mike. But anyway, same plane. And the cobweb is meant to be a beam. The spider beam is a bigger beam. It actually has 3 elements, whereas the the hex beam has 2 elements. Okay. So supposedly with a spider beam, you get more elements. I've looked into all 3 of them. And again, I made that comment earlier about I know what I don't have, which is land. And I just don't have the space to put that up. Any of the 3 of them, even the cobweb, which is really meant for that smaller space. The problem I have actually with wire antennas in that horizontal dipole plane is the height above ground. I don't see how most of us can do that.
That's what, 30 feet, 30-something feet, 35 feet?
Depending on the band.
Yeah.
At 40 meters, you're even higher than that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, my ground-mounted vertical, it sits on the damn ground. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And that's why we used them at field day. I mean, we don't have to put them up. We just simply stand a pole up, and we get really good propagation. Now, when you get down to, and you want a beam, I think that horizontal thing is the right way to go. There, you can do the phased arrays, but again, the land to do a phased array, I think is actually huge compared to like a hex beam, which is a fairly small, 20 some odd feet in diameter, as opposed to a, which you can do in not too big a piece of land. But you really have to be a Chuck and afford a chat tower in order to get wire antenna up high enough. Work with.
That's why I stick with my end-fed half wave.
Well,
one of these days.
One of these days, fed half wave. I still think those need to be up high, but
absolutely. At least one end of it does.
I've got one that runs completely over my house, and that DX Commander on all of the bands but 80 will just blow it away. I can't even hear that well on it. But once I get in the 80 meter range, the inverted L that comes off the DX Commander, I actually find the wire in-fed half wave to be better on 80. And it gets me on 80 well. But 40 through 10, I'm okay with it. Now, by the way, on 6 meters, I actually have a beam. I have a 6 meter Moxon. And I was talking to Chuck, that video that Chuck did the other day about the halo antennas. I'm starting to look at those for both 6 and 10, because I'm thinking on 6, and that having that omnidirectional pattern is better than having that directional, because you have to guess the direction the opening is going to occur, and you don't know what that is. So,
has anyone else noticed that when Don is speaking, he's like the Godfather, and everybody in the clubhouse is quiet? No one's laughing. No one's cutting up. They're like, everyone be quiet. The Don is speaking.
We're listening. We're learning.
Can we call you Grandpa?
I guess I'm too used to running meetings at work.
That's awesome. No, thank you so much. This is excellent. Excellent information. Trust me.
No, it's great. So would you, if you had the option, what would you like? And you had the setup, would you go for a hex beam or a spider beam, or like what do you think would be the most beneficial for if you have space, you have height?
The complexity in putting the spider beam together puts me off of it. I've seen videos on how those things go together, and because they're 3 wire, they're very complex. But you only have to do it one time. Same thing with a hex beam. So there's kind of this like laziness part of it where I'm like, well, I could get a hex beam up and it doesn't take as long to build and it's not as complex as the spider beam would be. So I'd lean more to the hex beam. The other thing is too, there are more vendors available and more resources available on the hex beam. I don't know anybody that makes the spider beam, but spider beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they kind of corner the market in the name of the that particular antenna.
Yeah. Well, the guys in the UK that I've seen that have them really like them, and actually, it's not just the UK, but it's in Europe. They really like them. But and you've got, by the way, Molson, when you're in Canada on both of those deals, you need to worry about ice and icing. Those things are both those antennas.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Acceptable. Now in Texas, we don't have that problem.
Well,
normally,
once in a while.
Normally, well, I mean, even when we had that brief bit of ice, it really doesn't. It doesn't coat it and just hang there. I did hear one guy lost a hex beam.
Yeah, there was a guy down in Waco. I saw pictures of it where the thing was just like this after all it's said and done.
Yeah.
And I think since we're coming up almost with about 15 to go, I think there's some business we need to attend to with some voting with some folks.
Hi, Dana.
Hi,
Dana.
Everybody in the chat say hi, Dana. Hey, Dana.
Oh, Steve's gonna pay for that one.
Are you in trouble?
Oh yeah.
Were you shopping on Gigaparts again?
No.
It's great.
Shane, go ahead. What were you going to say about
Yeah, so I was going to ask that we make a motion to add Craig and the Don to the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Don's already a member.
You're not paying attention to the chat.
Our role is getting so big. I forget who owns it.
I second Shane's motion to have Craig as a member of the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
All in favor?
Yep.
Honorary member.
All opposed? Me. Fucking hell, man. That guy every week.
Every week. He must have been on 7.188.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I there's so many questions about hex beams and all that stuff, but I don't want to make that the rest of the conversation. Maybe we'll have a talk. Maybe you can help me out in the video, Don.
Well, you guys can have me on anytime you want to talk about Flex Radio. I'm here for it. and that's just to make Mike have to drink.
The first question would be, what kind of financing plans do they offer at Flex Radio?
They do have one. But,
oh gosh,
they do have a pay it out kind of thing.
It requires your firstborn.
But I mean, like that. Yeah.
If I had twins, that wouldn't be a big deal. I give one, right? No.
It seems to me that my 6600 is less than the 101 MP in cost, and people seem to be getting those too. So, but I really, I mean, I would have every single top end radio if I could afford it. I just think they're all great. So I like the Flex because I'm not going to get into that. Y'all didn't call me.
We're gonna have a special guest Don night, and all we're gonna do is talk Flex Radio.
Right
there you go.
We get a whole hour of Flex Radio.
And then the week after we're gonna have the husbands in the doghouse meeting after we all ordered our Flex radios.
Chuck, I'm doing 1.3 kilowatts out of mine.
Good God.
Well, he's
my neighbors would love that.
That mercury, huh?
He's feeding you through that mercury.
Yeah.
Oh, that lightning strike was close.
When somebody says to Don, "Do you even flex, bro?" He's like 1.3 kilowatts. Oh, we got the sound effects. Look at that.
Lightning done hit my house.
Between that and the transverters, I don't need no damn 9700.
There you go.
So Don, what's your next project, buddy? I'm into building. I want to know what you guys are building.
I'm working. I'm actually in the process of building a Rapide. You know, the DX Commander Rapide. I bought a light about a year ago, and I never put it together. And so I bought the conversion kit, but the conversion kit only came with the plates. So I've had to go out and buy little pieces. And right now, the next thing I need is shock cord. So if you guys, anybody, knows what shock cord I need to get for a DX Commander, I'd really like to hear it. Because
I'm sure Callum would send you some.
Well, I don't see. That's the thing. I mean, the man has sent me so many things for free. When he originally sent my Expedition, he sent it to the wrong address, some address in Kentucky, twice, and then he got my address. So he covered all of that. I mean, those two did eventually go in, and you'll see in a video where he got them back. And I was really glad that he got those back and was able to resell them.
Yeah, no kidding.
But then I stuck the Expedition up the very first time I did it, and it went back down, and I've had the pole up, and I didn't get it up well enough, and it crashed back down and split the pole. And he sent me one for free. So I mean, shock cord from the UK, that's an Ape. I saw what you said, but I need to know what size to buy.
Adam, K6ARK, says search Doingy Doingies in Google.
Yeah.
And
Chuck says 1/8 inch.
1/8 inch.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. That's what I needed to know. I couldn't tell what size it was.
I think I've got some shock cord left around here. I'll have to.
I had one or a bungee cord on here the other day.
Adam, have you been on the Scotch again?
Damn it, Adam.
Have you been turning off safe search and Googling Doingy Doingies?
And by the way, if y'all want to buy a rig expert, I sold a few of those on TO Screen the other day.
Hey, there you go.
So you're sales rep for Flex Radio and Rig Expert? Is that what I'm understanding?
Apparently so. And then if you ask Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, I'm selling Mercury amps too.
Hey,
I want one of those.
I do.
It'll get there.
Say,
I
what's the
can't
bro price?
run that here. Yeah, I can't run it here, but
Sure you can.
eventually I'm sure my neighbors in the apartments below me, beside me, and on the other side of the parking lot would love for me to run 1,300 watts out of the in-bed half wave across the parking lot.
Yeah, you'll just light up the dumpster. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don, are you using a Mercury as your amp?
Yeah. I also have an 811H too. I mean, but I disconnected it in favor of the Mercury. The reason I got the Mercury was so that I can remote the Flex, because the Mercury will just like auto switch.
Yeah.
And not only does it auto switch, and it auto band select or auto antenna selects. So I've got actually 3 antennas on here, one of which is a 6 meter. I've got the 80 meter, the in-fed half wave, and then I've got the DX Commander. And if I go to 80 meters and just, bump the tune button, it'll switch the antenna and the band to that band. I don't have to be here to do it. It'll just do it. So the Flex is all ready to go, so I can literally go somewhere else and run the Flex and use the amplifier and know everything's going to work. So that's the reason
cool.
I bought it. Yeah, I mean,
and it won't destroy itself.
No, the 811 was fine, but if I'm on 40 meters and I've got it tuned for 40 and it's powered on, I go in the other room and I want to go to 80 meters. I can't, without coming back in here. Yeah. But the Mercury allows me to do that. So I do.
I
do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like somebody who like goes on Facebook and says, "Does anybody know how to do this?" And then the person who responds goes to Google for them and answers the question. Come on, you're in your rig. Come on.
Hey, can I Google that for you?
Right? Is it? What's the website? Let me Google that for you.
Let me Google that for you. Yes, I use it all the time.
And it looks like a Google page. So when they click the link, it looks like Google and somebody typing the thing in to look up, and then it returns the results. So it's a pretty clever website.
Yeah. Didn't they used to have, like, I remember it used to be you used to do the acronym, like just put the letters in .com. So LM whatever. Yep. Yeah. I don't acronym on live stream. So but it doesn't do it anymore.
By the way, Byron, based on your question, go look at the video that Kyle did on his remote station. His through Node-RED automatically disconnects the antennas on lightning strikes. So if you have lightning in the area, it will auto disconnect it if you're not on the shack. If you're in the shack, then it will pop up a screen and say, look, there's lightning detected. Do you want to disconnect? So in case you're working that FT8 contact and you want to finish it before it disconnects, you have the option to do so. So
that's really cool.
There's some really amazing things that they do with automating a ham shack so that you can pretty much never be there, and the shack will take care of itself.
Don, when are you going to start your YouTube channel?
I have one. What you guys do, I mean, honestly, the guys that watch like I do can't thank you enough for all the time and energy you put into it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, and I just can't.
Except for me.
I just can't sit there and edit videos. There's 1,000 other things I want to do, and so I'm really bad about, like, I really wanted to document the Hermes when I first got it, and I just never did because I've been through one session where I edited a video and I'm like, oh wow. I mean, it's just amazing how much time you guys have to. And I realize you get better and faster and all of that.
Craig, do you have an amp?
Do I have an app? No.
Yeah. No,
oh, amp. Yes, I do. I have an 811H.
Oh yeah, that's the one I bought.
I was about to say,
I enjoy. I live in a. I'm similar to Shane. He's in an apartment. I'm in a condo, but I live in a Faraday cage called stucco because that's what California does because they're retarded. Yeah. That way, you have an earthquake. You had an earthquake. You go outside, look at your wall, and it's cracked.
Everything's
jigsaw
cracked.
Puzzle, including the government, goes from the top down. And but the 811, it's I'm not saying anything about gruesome Newsom, but anyways, it's a good amp. I like it, and I'm of the mindset really don't give a rat's ass what the neighbors think. If I'm talking through their TV, I'll just give them the news I want them to hear. Don't care.
Probably the truth anyway.
It would be. At least it would be more entertaining. I'll say that much.
Yeah, there you go.
Modern equipment doesn't pick up the amplifier like the old stuff did. And like I'm running this amplifier here at 1.3 kW, and I have neighbors right on either side of me. I mean, I'm in an urban neighborhood. I have yet to get a complaint because, I mean, really I've got trees all the way around, and so they can't see the DX Commander. Now, my neighbor behind me knows, but other than that,
doesn't radiate in that direction.
Cares, and nobody's complained. So I think I really doubt you're getting that people are seeing you, or you're interfering with them. Unfortunately, the reverse isn't true. Their stuff is not shielded, and we hear it, but I don't think the other way around's happening.
I was about to say because I can tell when my neighbor wakes up and makes coffee, because if I'm up early hunting POTA, my noise floor goes from nothing to like S8, and I'm like, oh, he got up early today.
Well, he turned on his coffee maker, the nice heating element.
And I think like you get on like when you look at your noise floor in an urban environment and you realize that all your neighbors have that same noise floor and they don't know it, that has to mean that a lot of this equipment, like our Wi-Fi and all that, and our televisions, they're just not subject to that. So they're shielding them really well on the inside, but as far as them broadcasting, they don't care.
Yeah.
So they're keeping themselves from being heard next door. But as far as our radio is concerned, we want to hear things, and we do.
Or it could be the cheap LED lights that they're putting in all of their fixtures so that they can have really cool color lights everywhere.
Oh God, don't get me started on the solar panel.
Oh God,
Hey, Shane. Speaking of that, those are nice blue lights behind your TV.
Thank you, man. Those get turned off when I play radio. along with my lighting for the camera here, because it is touch sensitive, and I know what touch lamps do to RFI, so it gets unplugged as well.
There's nothing wrong with a touch lamp.
There's 2 breakers that get turned off. Because I refuse to buy 700 toroids to wrap around everything. I just flip the breakers off. I don't need the stuff that's on that.
And the 2 breakers are the mains for the neighbors, right?
Yes, absolutely. I tell you, though, it was when the power went out for the 4 days that during the ice storm, it was wonderful because I had like an S2 noise floor. And the only reason I had an S2 is because the person across the street had a big ass generator going, and I know that was causing all kinds of racket. But I went from an S8, S9, which is normal, down to an S2, and I was like, wow, it reminds me of going out POTA when it's a 0 noise floor.
Oh, Shane, have you been out to the Garland POTA site? I mean, recently.
It's been about 2 months.
Oh, okay. So I was out there last week. They have stuck up one of those poles, the police pole at the top with a bunch of cameras on it. And it's got a solar panel on it. And I drove out there and my noise floor was S7 out there.
So which parking lot was it? Was it the one down in the creek or the one on the hill?
The one with the fence. So the one on the hill, which is what I'm thinking you're talking about. That one was quiet. That's what I did. I drove over there and activated over there because
the one has an island down the middle of it, which is where I normally put my antenna up. And if that's the one that has a solar panel, I'm going to the other parking lot.
That's where it was. That's where it was.
I got a BB gun too, so.
Well, you'd have to take out the solar panel, but yeah.
I got a lot of BBs.
Those won't damage the solar panel.
It might hail a little bit too.
I don't know why they got that out there, but
we have a lot of solar fields around here. And I was talking one time with the guy who does all the work on them. He says that their biggest damage comes from birds because the birds would pick up a little pebble or something like that, and on the lakes they'll drop the pebble and then bring the fish up to the top, and they'll swoop in and get the fish. And so when they go over the solar panels, because they're like a bluish color, and they'll drop it on a field, and it'll crack the glass on top of the solar panels.
Yeah, imagine my BB gun with about 40 psi attached to it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's actually that's a whole nother thing. Is we have these solar farms, and it's just panel after panel after panel, and it's just when you go through and it's like beautiful forest or bush, and then all of a sudden it's like panels. It's not very attractive. It's not beautiful. So. Yeah, shoot the police camera with a BB gun.
Yes, absolutely.
Make sure you live stream it.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that you can make them quiet or radio quiet, but
my panels here at the house are radio quiet. I haven't had any problems with them. My neighbors, on the other hand.
Well, I had a guy in Home Depot approach me one time about putting solar panels on, and the first thing I said, well, now understand I'm an amateur radio operator, and he turned and walked away. Oops. Oh, okay. I must have said the wrong thing.
Yeah, I was about to say you ran him off.
Yep.
Oh well. His loss.
But yeah, we had at work we had a company because the government was funding solar panel investments, and so there's these companies that would rent your roof space, and on our warehouse, on our facilities, like, you know, we have a 40,000 square foot building. So they wanted to put solar panels on the whole roof. And then we would get so much a month. And after 15 years, we can buy it for $1 off of them, you know, which we all know it's going to be worth nothing in 15 years. But I was like, I just don't want all the holes in my tin, you know, like I just don't want to have that. But I looked into doing solar panels here on my house to subsidize my hydro, because it costs us so much for hydro here. You pay, if your usage is $200 a month, you pay $200 for delivery fee, because the hydro company was, which is government run, was going bankrupt. And so in order to get them out of it, you have to pay a delivery fee to help them. And now that they're no longer in debt, you still have to pay it. So I can rant about that too. But so I decided I wanted to.
Surplus comes from?
Huh?
Where do you think that surplus comes from?
Yeah, exactly. So I looked at it, but I don't think in Canada, where we are, the position, our weather, all that, it's not something that's really beneficial up here. It's unfortunate, because I think it's a great option. And then I looked into wind, and that's a whole nother story.
Well, when we had that big freeze here in Texas, a lot of people found out that solar was crap. And it's not that it's crap, it's that they didn't look into it well enough, and they didn't put batteries on their house. So the way that solar works, and it's the one that they most provide to you when it's free.
You know, hey,
we're going to put it on.
Who's at the door?
We have someone.
Welcome to Tech Radio. I'm Frank, KG5AHJ, and we're on the Clubhouse. Woo!
Hey, Frank. Frank,
Yes.
I got something.
You got something for me? What? I don't even have mine yet.
I think
awesome.
Frank could do us a little. I feel your pain. Can you show some more enthusiasm? I don't think you're quite there yet. You're
Me
a little depressive.
enthusiasm?
Yeah, you're a little depressed. I think you need to bring it up a notch or two.
Welcome to Tech.
Yeah,
Almost.
Thank you for muting him. Now, Grandpa was speaking, okay, Tank? So, Don, please continue with what you were saying.
The Don was speaking.
Don was speaking. I was agreeing with Don, though, during that Texas power outage. I actually have a neighbor across the street. He came over and he was, you got radios and some batteries and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, my solar panel system is like not on right now, and I don't have power, but the sun's right there. I was like, yeah. You didn't get the inverter switch thing, did you?
Well, no, it's not even that. It's that, yeah, they don't have the inverter. You're right, but they don't even know that they have to have those the battery backup and all of that. What they're basically doing is they're getting solar so that when you have when you have sun, it'll convert over onto the solar, and you're getting solar then, and it cuts out the power to the deal. But it doesn't store any energy. It doesn't do anything at night. It's completely dead at night.
Well, if you have the interruption switch, what's the name of that switch?
Disconnect, main power disconnect?
The main power disconnect. Even if you didn't have the batteries, could you just run your house off the solar panels? Or you got to be running from the battery?
To do that, but most of them don't.
Well,
that's extra money. And actually, they have to go through the panel, right?
Yeah. The panels that I have will not produce enough to actually run the house.
Oh.
Unless it's at absolute peak sun.
Well, you can't run it off your flashlight solar panel, buddy. Like, you need to have a little bit more than that.
But you could run your
5.5 kilowatts of power up there.
You could run your house on a generator during the day while the solar is charging the batteries, and then at night run your batteries.
Yeah. But just
if I had batteries.
Let's throw out there, if you're running a generator, make sure your main power switch is off.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Please do not energize those lines, because that's why that switch is such important. And if you don't have that switch, they wire those panels to shut off if the grid's down. There's more reasons and other to that, but the main reason is they do not want those lines to be energized when they're trying to bring them back up.
And here in Texas, if you get a generator, make sure that it's tri-power. and so that it will run off natural gas, because our natural gas is dirt cheap here.
Yep. I need to get a conversion for my generator because it only runs off gasoline.
Yeah, running it off. I mean, my gas stayed on the whole time when we had that freeze out. Now some people lost it.
Yeah,
some people lost it, or it became like a trickle.
Yeah, I looked into ordering one of those 30 kVA generators for my house here.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no limitations on what I can run, and so I looked at it was like 30,000 just for it, then the disconnect switch or the transfer switch, and then the electrical work. So I actually looked online. And you'll realize that most of these companies produce from certain factories. And if you know what sites to go to and look how to figure it out, you can find out exactly the same Generac, who makes it, or those kinds of things. And so I found it for like $6,500 with you can go with the Perkins diesel or choose it. And so I was looking at that, but so that when I bought my house, which was 6 years ago, I had an electrician come in. My buddy's dad came in because I had my main panel and I had 2 sub panels. And the guy had used, as a generator, he used a welder that had that can do the generator as well. Mm-hmm. And he was reverse feeding it through the panel. And you'd have to shut off the breaker, like Frank was saying. Mm-hmm. And then there's all these switches. I have a picture I'll share with you guys in Discord. It was crazy. And like, I understand electrical very well, but I was just like, this is too much. Like, turn this knob, turn that switch, turn that switch, do this, and all over the place. So I said, take it all out. And then when I do the generator, I'll put in the transfer switch and have the generator kick on after 30 seconds and go from there. Because it's really shady what you can happen if you don't put your proper, wire it properly. So if you're going to put a generator, it's not that expensive. At the end of the day, if you can burn down your house that's $500,000 or $100,000 or $1 million for the cost of $800.
So how often do you lose power to make that worth it? Because me and my brother were talking back and forth, like, let's install generators to the house. And I was like, okay, let's sit down and think about it. We lose power in our house briefly a couple times a year for split seconds. Or that storm rolls through and you don't have power for that night. Do we really need a generator for that time?
Frank, do you have overhead power lines or buried power lines?
Buried.
Mine are overhead, and every time a big storm rolls through here, and I'm talking about a rainstorm, those stupid, and they're not stupid, those are great trees back there that my neighbor has, but they are into that, the overhead power lines, and when it rains, it will short through the trees. And
every person's situation is different, and I give you that hands down. That's what the question was for.
Yeah.
For me and my brother, our answer was it's not worth it.
Right.
So I approached it the same way that you did, Tank, and I like to go camping and stuff like that. So I got a generator that was way overkill for camping, but it was enough where I could run my HVAC system, my refrigerator, and my microwave or oven, whichever one I wanted to plug in. So I got a generator big enough for just that, but I also use it whenever I go camping.
Dual
that's
purpose
how I
like that
justified
is beautiful.
Doing it that way. And when I do eventually buy a house, I do want to put a generator panel in that's got a transfer switch.
What's that
way
behind you?
My same plug-in is good to go. That?
Yeah, the whole thing behind you.
That's a
when
TV.
you say buy a house,
that's
his
apartment.
Oh no, this is an apartment.
Oh,
I'm borrowing this one.
Nice.
I'm borrowing this one.
Yeah, for me, like living where I live in the countryside. Snow, Canada.
It snows in Canada.
But so every once in a while, every winter, ice and snow, we lose power here and there for like 3-8 hours. The problem is I got a combination of things. I have a sump pump. So even in the winter time, I'm on a hill, but I have an aquifer right underneath. And so I will flood. My basement will flood if my sump pump is off for too long. I've had that happen a couple times. And then I also have like about $4,000 in meat in my freezers. I have 3 deep chest freezers from my animals, from all that. So just that going out for
by the way. If you need to get rid of some of that.
Yeah. So,
but that meat will probably keep for a while, maybe a day before it starts thawing.
100%.
You do have a little bit of leeway, and that should be also in your plans for prepping is what foods to eat first. You tax the fridge
just burn Craig's ears.
you tax the fridge first. You go after your dry foods, and then day one you go after your foods in the fridge, and then and you got another couple of days after that, and then you go after your frozen foods.
No, for sure. For sure. So for me, there's multiple things to look at as far as, and the other thing is that the last couple of years, it's been 8 hours, maybe 12 hours, but in this region, it's been sometimes like my wife, I was talking about the ice storm, it was 30 days, you know what I mean? Like, so there's and I totally agree with you that you have to do the return on investment analysis on that. And,
but like Shane said, me and my brother do want to split a generator like that. So if there is a standard situation, we can consolidate at one place, or someone's going out on a camping trip and wants to take it, more power to them.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
You saw what I did there?
So yeah, Jason and N3YAZ, he says the Northeast U.S. Canada ice storms back in the 90s taught me a big lesson there, and that's it, Jason. It's if you live through that, you don't care how many. If you went 10 years without an ice storm, you never want to be caught with your pants down again.
And was he referring to the one? Was that the same one in '94?
Yeah, I think he's talking about
95, 96.
Yeah,
95 and 96.
That came down here to Mississippi, and we were out for 3 weeks. So
yeah, so and then 98 was a bad one too. So yeah, like when you go through that, especially being up here where you have snow and went for like 7 months, ice and snow, you want to make sure that you're taken care of. Yeah.
Do you come from the land of ice and snow?
Well, listen, if we have summers for too much longer, my house will melt because I live in an igloo. So, come August, we pray the temperature starts to go down because we don't want to lose our investment in snow. Water's not cheap.
August 15th, you have a skylight.
Exactly.
All right.
That's
the methane hole.
It's ambiance.
In California, I take a different approach. I mean, some of y'all know from listening to the podcast, I had that prepper website. And yeah, we have buried lines here, which sometimes doesn't make any sense when you have earthquakes. But we usually only lose power when some idiot behind the wheel finds the big green box on the curb and decides to plow through it. But power company's pretty good at getting the power on. But one of the things that I do here, I don't have the big, huge generators, even though I eyeball them at Costco all the time because they're noisy. And there's one thing I don't want to do, it's attract attention because I don't trust my neighbors or my neighbors' friends who will start coming to the door because this is the California, the granola state, land of fruits, nuts, and flakes. And they want to, they'll come by begging for things. Give me a can of this. Give me a can of that. I don't have anything. And so I don't. I always tell the kids if we're in a massive power failure, I have enough to keep the refrigerator going. Don't care about the air conditioner, and I can laugh at the kids with no internet. So they're going to have to just buckle down in the dark at night. I don't want to attract attention.
2 things real fast. One, California allows you to run generators. Isn't that fossil fuel and that's bad?
Yep.
Aren't they outlawing all that? And
why do you think I drive a Cummins Why do you think I have a Cummins engine just to piss them off?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Roll call, baby.
And the antennas, a sign of an amateur radio operator who probably has power, is a big antenna out back.
Oh
yeah, that
real
I have.
Here I can leave.
I had a neighbor a couple weeks ago trying to take pictures of my big ugly fake houseplant that I made in the first couple of videos I ever did on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
He found your channel.
Yeah, he was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's a fake tree. It might be an antenna. It might not be." I'm like, "Why? You taking pictures?" Like, "No." I'm like, "Well, your mom has a camera." Started shooing her. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. So I'm just waiting to see if I get a letter from the association that I could stamp a Foxtrot uniform and send it back.
I love it. I love it.
Welcome, Izzo.
Yep.
Dawn.
Well, look who it is. Look who the cat dragged in.
Hold on.
Whiskey one box right Yankee golf.
Excuse me. We do an emergency net every night at 9:15 Eastern time on this frequency. So can you forfeit the frequency to us? Dawn, can you give us an update on the situation in New Jersey or Connecticut or Cincinnati? Where are you? Cincinnati? It's all the same to me. Go ahead.
Cincinnati, that's insulting.
He's on one
East
night.
area, just call it gigantic Maine.
Just like Toronto and Ottawa and Saskatchewan, it's all the same to me.
Saskatoon.
Let me tell you something. I said I better get my ass here because you guys are going to vote me in to start doing some shit that I don't want to do. So I said,
yeah. Oh, by the way, you're the treasurer now.
Treasurer now.
Yeah. So, you know.
I know your pain. I got secretary.
What a crazy day. I am telling you something, man. This cigar is so long over. This cigar should have happened around 6:30, 7 o'clock. I wanted to catch the lineup, and then all Mother Nature came ripping through Connecticut here with some nasty ass storms and trees down, wires down, and some of our neighbors, some friends of ours couldn't get into their homes. So my wife and I got in the truck, and our rescue guys, we got the kids out of the house, and one of our boaters got his sailboat got slammed up against the rocks. We had to rescue him, and so guess what? Now I just want to have a cigar and just be with my brothers, and so. But I said I better get here before I get voted in to be doing something because you guys are dangerous.
No idea.
Don, while you're talking about all this emergency stuff, I was on Twitter, and guys, there's a frequency that's set on 40 and 20 for communications. What is it? 14,325.
The hurricane net, yeah.
Hurricane watch net, yep. 14.300. Right, and you should stay. So what that is so that's the maritime net. That's the maritime net, and that's 365 days out of the year. And once again, as a courtesy, we as Ham should stay 3 to 4 kc away from them on both sides. Mm-hmm. Some guys do it. Some guys
Daniel.
Don't.
Daniel, that means you can't call CQ there.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. I support that.
Yeah, 14.325 and 7.268.
Right, 325. Now that's the hurricane net. They'll get activated in those areas that were just affected, so they can relay information over to National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center. But 14.300 is the maritime net. So, but both of them have a long history of ham radio intervention.
So if you're in an area that you guys are going to be affected by the hurricanes, you have the HF, you can listen for some updates. Stay clear of those frequencies during this time. I will lead by example and not call CQ on those frequencies or close to those frequencies.
Attention, everybody. We are asking all Canadians to please use 60 meters at this time frame.
160. Top band.
Oh, Don dropped out. So I can speak to the other 4 people on it. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So for those of you who are not familiar with Craig and his YouTube channel, we have posted the links to his YouTube channel in the chat, as well as the description of tonight's live stream. Give him a sub. He's got some excellent content over there. And Craig, thanks for coming in and putting up with this mess.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I'm about to 10,000 subscribers. I'm about that close.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I only need about 3,958 more or something like that.
Greg has it. I will. Craig's channel was probably my first of the 5 channels that I started getting into about a year and a half.
Sorry.
No, man, you got some good content on there. You got very good content.
Appreciate it.
And you and I are kind of like old school. I'm like, man, he's out in California. I'm on the East Coast, and we're thinking the same way. And I'm like, this is going to be some fun stuff that this guy is. And sure enough, enough.
I just subscribed to Craig's channel. So Craig, you're one subscriber closer. Yeah.
Almost
good.
there.
I can stop sending him 20s.
Also, look for links to Tank Radio in the chat, and I will make sure that Tank Radio YouTube channel gets added back in, or gets added into the description of this live stream as well. And Frank, you're getting pretty close to 1,000.
988.
Oh,
I'm slowly climbing each rung of that ladder.
And I just subscribed to Don's channel because I want him to produce some videos so I can learn.
Yes, Don. We're waiting.
Yeah, and Don, we'll link your channel.
Don has a channel, doesn't he? Smoke Signals RF.
Now he is.
Talking about you.
We have the Don OG and we have the Don. So I don't know.
We got the Don Army here tonight.
See, I remember your call sign as Nancy in a skirt. So that's how I remember your call sign.
Originally, somebody told me it was an abbreviation for socket, but I don't. Now, I'll tell you a little secret. My wife's call was N5, and listen to the last three, UTI.
Oh, man. Not a good one.
Well,
I mean, a lot of cranberry juice.
At least it wasn't IBS.
It was honestly after she passed away that I realized what that
or BBS.
But, I was like, I never thought about it before. But
IBS.
Wow.
There could be worse, Don. There could be worse.
Very cool.
So, Shane, take it away, buddy.
I'm not in the top corner anymore. I got demoted.
You demoted yourself.
I know, right?
Guys, we're going to wrap this up.
Oh, look at this. All right.
There you go.
All right. Well, I will.
No, I just got here. I thought we were going to party.
That's what happens when you start showing up late, Don.
Oh, man.
Oh,
So, we're getting close to the half hour. We're gonna start shutting this thing down.
wait a
It's
minute, I
been a
got
pleasure
something for that.
having.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Shane.
I love it. I love it. But anyway, we're going to take a few minutes and go around the horn and let us know what you got going on, what's coming up, what we can expect. And I'm going to call you out. That way you don't have to look and figure out who's where. But we're going to start with Don, Whiskey 1, Foxtrot Yankee Golf. Don, I know you've got a video coming.
It was okay. So,
Field day.
Smoke Signals RF, you catch me on Twitter and tweeting all things POTA and all this other wonderful stuff in the hobby. Catch my YouTube channel, Smoke Signals RF. I was supposed to have a video tonight. There was a technical difficulty either between the chair and the keyboard over here or something with YouTube. But guess what, guys? Within the next 2 to 5 days, we'll have that uploaded. It'll be on a premiere. Check it out. You'll see me inside the tent operating field day, and I'll give you a quick hint. A UPS package came today that I got to do a film of something playing with radio and out in my backyard or at a POTA park. So look for it.
Interesting.
The box is right here.
Does it have the initials DX in front of it? No?
No, I can't. No, I don't want to give it away. But there's the box. Okay. I tripped over the box trying to get here as fast as I can.
Did the box come from the UK? Oh.
No, they
okay.
They're out of Montana, I think.
Nice.
I think.
Well, we will look forward to that video, Don, and as well as the field day video that you got coming up. So, Tank Radio. Good evening, sir.
Tank Radio.
What you got coming up for us, buddy?
I just dropped on the premiere of my field day video. Woo! Look at that!
Nice.
I got transitions.
That was a fun video. That was fun to watch.
Yes, thank you. And after that is going to be the QSOs. All the QSOs I made at field day. They are limited this time because I did not lose any footage. I have all the footage. Them? I logged them on N3 JFT.
Did you upload those logs? There you go, Jay.
We have not done the logs yet, but as secretary, they will be submitted on time. No. They will be submitted on time. It's not just Frank is going to be affected by this. So I usually submit those logs pretty good.
Make a note. Call Jason to make sure Frank does.
I ran out of memory space on my SD cards.
What?
Yeah, big fail.
So at the very end,
Joe, can you play that horn again?
That's like me.
Exactly.
Started tuning it
Poor
in.
excuse. That's like me showing up saying I ran out of cigars.
SD card.
Poor excuse.
SD card.
Exactly.
Full. So that my QSOs are coming up. I'm working on a great video with Mike, and I can't wait to put that out. There's actually 2 videos with Mike. I do give a small little hints of the second video. The other video is an extended version of a clip that we did, but it's going to be fun. We're all going to learn lots of things, so I'm looking forward to it. It has to do with hammers, so
nice.
What did you do with N8YO?
Say what?
What did you do with N8YO?
N8YO.
Mike.
The other Mike.
The other Mike.
No, the other Mike.
Yes,
Not
Mike.
Kilo 8 Romeo
Mike.
Delta.
You're going to go up to Michigan and do some POTUS with him?
Yeah, you're gonna KAMRD Mike.
Yeah, I know.
But it's gonna be fun. There's that's gonna be in a couple weeks, so
Awesome.
stay tuned.
Don, thank you so much for joining and jumping in tonight. Your knowledge is always welcome anytime. I know we can always tap into you for anything antenna, anything ham radio. You're like our virtual Elmer for everyone. So thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, I appreciate it. And anytime you want me back for Flex Radio, I'm here.
Or Mercury, or and when can we expect your next video to drop on your YouTube channel?
I don't know right now. I'm looking.
Send me the footage. Send me the footage. I'll edit it for you.
Okay, I'm looking forward to a video on the Rig Expert AA30.0. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But
did you grow a tail?
No, not yet.
That's the Shack Cat.
That's one of 2. I don't know where his mother is.
You guys are killing
me. Good lordy. Craig, thanks for joining us tonight and sticking around through all this. Is there anything you would like to promote? What's coming up on the channel? What's coming up? Just anything you'd like to throw out there.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I've got a video to hopefully help HOA, those of us trapped behind enemy lines of the HOA. So it's kind of an addition and update to the stealth 2-meter 440 antenna I did before, where I used the Diamond X50. I was a little secret. I'm debating on. I have 2 antennas, both by Diamond, I can use. Do I use the more discreet one, which has some pretty cool features, or do I try and really push the envelope and go from an X50 to an X300? Who doesn't need an extra 8 feet?
I'm always for the extra 8 feet.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way.
Yeah.
The moment you start taking pictures of my stuff, I gotta. This way, they won't have to take a picture; they can see it plainly.
There you go. Yeah.
I was to say, and then let's just mount a step.
You don't need a picture; just look out your window.
Yep.
Why didn't you bring this shit up earlier? Like, we could have debated this for an hour and a half instead of listening to rant.
We're gonna save that one for the next show, Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to drag it another hour and a half. If this ends, if this ends, I have to go back into the estrogen hellhole back there.
I think Daniel's made a great friend tonight.
I think so as well.
I can still hear him. Hour and a half, which means the girls are arguing about something they did to each other when they were 3. They started just now, and they go backwards.
That memory.
No one has daughters knows
memory.
You stole my cookie.
Oh yeah. If you look in I've always been told, if you look in a woman's brain, it's just rows and rows and rows and rows of file cabinets with paralegals recording everything. If you look in a guy's brain, it's an empty locker room with socks on the floor.
That's actually a compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Anyone that has daughters knows they will start with whatever offended them now, and if you don't stop it, they'll go all the way back to birth.
You know,
and it's
no.
I want to piggyback on what Scout just posted. I think we need to start a segment of this show at the beginning that says what pissed off Molson this week. I really think that should be an actual thing, and we'll work on that outside. But
press one.
Yeah.
Did you guys not see the chat I sent you? I wanted to do a rant segment.
I'm working it into the show content, Daniel. Roll with me here, brother. Roll
Top
with
10.
me.
Top 10.
If you want one in the chat, if you want to see a what pissed off Molson this week segment added to the Ham Radio Clubhouse, we will put that in there, and we'll have a nice intro done by Joe Brett.
Keith, I know what you did there. You made it. You took Coach's Corner and with Don Cherry made it Molson's Corner. That's an insult, buddy. But okay, thank you. Oh gosh!
Look at all these ones.
I
think we're gonna have to add that to the segment. Fantastic.
Hold on, wait.
I believe we'll accept that into shorts and whatever, you know.
Exactly.
Man yells at cloud. We call it man yells at cloud.
Cloud.
What made the maple syrup boil this week?
There you go. And
so many directions we can go with that.
That could be a T-shirt. That could be
exactly.
So let's moving along.
All right, yeah,
Steve. The irritated caribou.
The anal caribou. The anal caribou.
I was gonna go with moose.
There goes the rails and the show.
Moose, but you know.
We're an hour and 32 minutes into the show. Let's get it wrapped up.
All right, Steve. Steve, what you got coming up, my friend?
I need to get on recording some videos and get on editing. I'm still working on my editing skills. That's my holdback right now. So
I can help.
But Tank helped me out the other night a little bit. So
nice.
Kind of got some stuff going there.
You did
find me randomly on Discord at night when I'm editing.
Yeah, I did 5 parks yesterday.
5 photo parks. Good job.
Did you film it?
I did not.
Didn't happen.
Where's the horn?
Wah, wah, wah.
Are you allowed to edit? Hold on.
I've got the cheetah to prove it.
Here's the thing. Here's
the film that didn't happen.
If you didn't film it, then you can only rely on your logs. And did you process your own logs, Steve?
Yes, I did.
So it didn't happen. That's cheating.
Oh, the caribou's going off again. Here we go.
See?
The caribou's fired up.
But
what ran over the moose?
That was in the package.
Nice.
Ooh.
The shirt came in.
That's pretty.
So
I'll see
Joe
you
Brett.
one coin and raise you a sticker.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Craig. That had some weight.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Had some weight. Uh-oh. Beer snack.
Look at this.
Beer snack's getting something.
Bam.
Oh.
Bam.
Oh. Wait a minute. Wait
Nice.
for beer snack.
We'll get to him. Joe Brett, what you got coming up this week?
He's gonna come back with a bag of pretzels.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, lie. All right, Joe Brett, what you got coming up on your channel?
I don't know.
Fun?
So anyway, yeah, that's it.
Show off.
Video
Show
may
off.
happen. A live may happen.
May not happen.
May not happen. But I have to give props to the chat. You know, the chat's awesome. It's the only reason we do the videos. So I just decided to do a live the other day, yesterday, and somebody in the chat suggested, hey, let's call in on Echolink. I got Echolink set up on the radio here, so we did some fun that way. So that was pretty neat, something different.
Next time, send me a text message and I'll echo in from work.
If you click the bell, you should see a notification on your phone.
I
right?
can't be on YouTube at work. Hello.
Well, how can you be on a text message if you can't get a
I can
notification?
go to the bathroom.
Oh my God, Beer Snack, take care of him.
We don't want to hear that echo. We don't want to hear that echo, brother.
Bucket of pretzels.
That's what I'm.
All right, Beer Snack, my buddy, my friend. How are
You're
you?
looking at it.
What you got coming up, man?
You're looking at it. Just hanging out with you guys. Hanging out
Wouldn't
on
have it
Thursdays.
any other way.
Wouldn't have it any other way. So
Fantastic.
that's what's going on. A lot going on personally, so it's slowing the production roll, but still working on it.
Plenty of months in the year, my friend.
Yep.
Yes, there are.
Always time.
Always time. And we're going to see you in Huntsville. So I think there should be a Beer Snack this side of the radio film at Huntsville. So just saying.
Ooh.
Just saying. We'll figure it out. As for myself,
Hey, Shay, what do you got going on?
I still have not filmed my Pac-10 Mini in Fed Half Wave. I have to work tomorrow, so I can't do it tomorrow, but I will get that done as long as these stupid pop-up thunderstorms will stay out of Dallas where I can put an antenna in the air and work it for a few minutes and record it for all you guys.
In Connecticut, too.
Jeez. I'm going to have to move to like Phoenix so that just so I can do YouTube videos. But anyway, I want to say personally, thank you to everyone in the chat. I haven't been able to keep up. When I'm chatting with everybody here on the screen, it's hard for me to keep up with the chat. My multitasking skills are not what they used to be. But thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. And we will see you guys next week.
Whoa. Are my chopped liver? You didn't
went
come
through
to
you.
me. Hey, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No,
You missed the
didn't.
whole first half of the show.
Right. Jeez, haven't we had enough Molson already? I was just trying to trigger you, buddy.
No,
It worked.
Oh, I'm sorry, Daniel. What do you have coming up for us next week?
Oh, it's so nice of you to come to me. I just want to say, how can you guys are all sympathetic towards Dan because he didn't put a video. Meanwhile, I'm getting beat up in the comments section about how I have 2 videos. Yeah. I got it. Don, thank you.
Next week on how to piss off a moose.
Don, thank you for being our technical correspondent. You're awesome. Actually, I was talking with Mel V3LGN. He came over before. He came by, gave my son Nathan for his 11th birthday a Kenwood 280S, I think it was, because my son loves listening to the radio. So that's going in his room. And we were talking about you, Don, and I was just talking about how with the few times we've had you on, there's the technical mind that I love to pick. So I like having you on. I trust what you say. And so you're our new technical correspondent. Do we all agree on that?
I like that. Yep. That's a great title.
Don,
he's our virtual Elmer.
You cannot refuse. Craig, thank you for being on, buddy. I listen to you on some of the other shows. Maybe we're too much for you to chew. You got to bump in sometimes and speak up. So we're gonna have you
permanently banned. Well, Sean was saying he wants the show monetized eventually, and if I keep talking, pretty soon the
heard what
out,
Daniel has said tonight?
I'm over here.
Have you listened to that language?
I'm jealous of Joey's got this Echo thing going on over there. I haven't tried that my entire ham thing, but I wanted to trade him. He's got Echo, and I've got the 2 girls, Pete and Repeat. So I'm going to trade him with that.
Nice. And then Tank, thanks for coming on, buddy.
No
I like
problem.
having you on. As for me, I don't produce videos on my channel. We Build, We Learn. So don't subscribe to my channel. And
wait for the new channel that's coming.
Now,
Angry Oscar Mike.
Caribou.
Check me out. Check me out on We Build, We Learn. My videos come out when I can. I'm a busy guy. All right. And then,
watch his shorts. His shorts are hilarious. And not the shorts that he's wearing, but the short video.
His shorts are hilarious.
Is he wearing shorts?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want him to know. All right, guys. So we're going to say 73. Everyone wave at the camera. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday.